I don't know if you can hear that. There's a siren outside. This is the vlog for October 27th, 2018, and this is probably the windiest it's been in the 8 months I've been doing these vlogs. It was just gusting a minute ago, and while I was having dinner, the lights at the restaurant flickered. So it's possible that this room will go dark. I'm recording on a laptop, so it has a battery, and even if the power goes out, I'll be able to keep recording. I will not be able to get it uploaded if the power goes out. I should have taken that into consideration. Maybe I should start doing these in the mornings. I will not be able to get these up if the power is out. Obviously, I need power for internet, and I need internet to upload these. Unless I get... Nah, I don't want to try and upload a video over my cellular network. That's just going to kill my data. Anyway, I don't want to talk about wind or rain, because there's a lot of that, but it's not what I want to talk about. The new season of the Castlevania animated show came out on yesterday, maybe Thursday night, I'm not exactly sure. But I watched the first 4 episodes of the first season way back, a year ago, I think, yeah, because it was 2017. I was very impressed. I've said a couple times that Castlevania Symphony of the Night is my favorite game of all time, or at least tied for the top spot of my favorite game with Super Metroid. And the care and attention to detail that Warren Ellis has given the Castlevania world in this show is immense. It is violent and bloody, but that's sort of, I think, important for Castlevania. Castlevania, although it got its start mimicking monster movies that wouldn't have been considered, violent or gory. At the time, actually, the original Dracula film with Bela Lugosi was considered highly violent and scandalous, nearly. It came out right before I believe it was called the Hays Code. I could be wrong about that. It came out that sort of prohibited certain things in films, and eventually was sort of not adopted by the Motion Picture Association anymore in favor of the modern codes that involve, G, PG, PG-13, R, and adult only, or X. I can't remember exactly. Those have sort of been, for the last 30 or 40 years, the standard. Yeah, Castlevania is a dark story. It's a dark story about what people do when they're driven to bad places. It's about what makes a monster and what can make a human a monster. And it's about what happens when people work together for a common good. And I'm being told that my ice cream is ready, so I'm going to have to wrap this up pretty quick here so it doesn't melt. One second. Yeah, I know. They didn't know I was doing my vlog right now. I didn't think they were going to have the ice cream ready. Anyway, I highly recommend it. Castlevania's gone through some hiccups in the last few years. The Lord of Shadows series was supposed to be a hard reboot of the Castlevania timeline, which has gotten very convoluted and sort of moved away from the original concept of monster movie monsters being bosses for a vampire hunter and having Dracula be the primary antagonist. But if only for the fact that it very, very much embraces the Symphony of the Night stories, plot points as part of its core experience. I love it. And in fact, I can't believe I didn't know about this until today. The launch of the Netflix series coincides with a release on PlayStation Store of a Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night remastered Castlevania Requiem with HD background art in some places. And the most amazing HD experience I've ever seen of Castlevania. Definitely beats out the one that they had on 360 and PS3. It is fantastic. It has a little bit of stuttering issues, and it has the PSP remakes voice acting. But there's also an option to use Japanese voices, which I'm using for the first time in any of my playthroughs ever. It's going to be awesome. So, I've got ice cream. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to probably play some Castlevania, if not Soul Calibur. So, I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.